Welcome to WandaVision Rewind. I'm Candace from the Geeky Waffle, and also with me is our emotional support animal for today, Bucky J. Parks, Winter Borger, because this was an emotional episode. And with me is...
I'm Arzu from RZD2.com and the Geeky Waffle.
I'm Maggie, rocking Magatha, and I'm from Your Money Geek and Twitter.
Hi, I'm Nurhal from Twitter.
I'm Tori from the internet and also from Creature Cartel.
And I am Ben, no longer on TV, now just on Twitter.
Okay, Bucky, that's all the noms you get for now because I gotta host this show, okay? You can leave if you need to, but I would appreciate it if you stood by us. Let's see how long he stays without food.
So cute.
He's already looking.
I know
He's already planning.
His couch is right there. That's his couch, I like to say, because it has his blankets, it has his toys. I don't blame him for leaving. But we're talking about the episode 8 of WandaVision, and it opens up in Salem in 1693, and we see Agatha.
Agatha Harkness in the flesh.
Yes. And she's going to be burned at the stake, but by other witches?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Confusing.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like the
usual Salem witch trial, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly the face that I made. Yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was weird. I was hoping for a Salem flashback. I was like, ooh, maybe this would be cool. And it was interesting. That's what I'll say. It was not what I expected to see.
Yeah.
I will say I was spoiled by this like 2 years ago when they were filming WandaVision, and somebody was like, they have witches on the lot, and it was a picture of Catherine Hahn, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I was watching the episode, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah, so she seems to suck out the power of her fellow witches, and she doesn't really look like she knows what she's doing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
she's
kind of like,
shocked.
Oh, have this power.
They seem to have like a pretty strict hierarchy because her mother at one point is like, you found power above your age and station. So I'm like, what's that all about? Because that's like very...
That was weird.
Seemed like a really strict system of what you can use.
I know, right?
Yeah, I was hoping that would be like explained more, that she would like say something about it to Wanda to like,
you're a level whatever witch. Or
Do you think
Yeah.
they just show that to show us like how old she is and how ancient? Not ancient, but like how much like she must have
that's
lived?
ancient.
Yeah, I don't want to be
pretty
rude.
ancient,
Yeah.
to the other 400-year-old
Ancient's
people.
okay.
400 years old.
She looks
Hey,
really good.
sorry to anybody who's 400 and watching tonight.
You're old.
Cancel us. Hashtag
Any
ageist.
vampires? Sorry.
Bucky is a senior in Docky years, so
He's not 400.
Are you 400? I don't know how old he is.
He's not 400.
He's not 400.
How old are you?
Is he a snapping turtle? Because then he's not 400.
Oh.
Okay.
The snapping turtles out there watching us are really upset.
It'll take them a while to type their comments. So
We are
I'm not
number
worried.
1 in snapping turtle demographics. Right after puppies. Right, Bucky? He says avenge Sparky.
Avenged Party,
There you go.
yes.
Don't let him know I'm
Correct.
dressed up as Agatha.
Yeah. I don't think he understands cosplay, so I think you're okay. Okay, so we're back in the evil magic basement.
Oh.
And Agatha is really shocked that Wanda doesn't understand the rules, the ruins, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's not like a true witch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the point was that, like, Wanda doesn't really, she's not had, like, training, right? So she's not really, like, your classic witch. This all just kind of, like, happened to her. And she's just kind of, like, vibing, I guess.
Yeah, just go with the
Yeah.
flow.
She's
But-
just going with the flow.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
we find out about Pietro. Actually, Pietro.
Pietro.
She
Which
says
is-
it's crystalline possession, which means she had to possess someone. So our theory about him being from the Fox universe is still a thing. In my
yeah. That's what I took
agree.
away from that.
Could
Yeah,
be.
for sure. For sure. It could be.
Yeah,
It
because
could be.
if it was like, oh, it's an illusion or a manifestation, she could have said. But possession means there's something you have to possess, right?
Yes.
If it's like multiversy, though, is there not a version of this, like Peter, whatever, in this world who's just not Quicksilver?
It's also a possibility.
Yeah, it's also a possibility.
Yeah.
And this was just like a misdirect for us? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well-
I would say it makes sense considering it would be hard for me to think that she pulled him from the multiverse because she was like, I can't necromance your actual brother because he's on another continent.
And
He said,
full
yeah,
of-
he's full of holes, but he's on another continent, so he was too far away. So he had
Oh,
to
that's
close
fair.
with that.
Maybe it would be harder to be. I have a question. Has anybody seen the rabbit, Senor Scratchy, and Pietro in the same place at the same time?
No.
No.
No, wait, but like,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
wait.
we did
And
like that.
Agatha all along
Yeah,
was Senior
okay.
Scratchy on the blanket when Pietro went to the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
And
Then never mind.
technically, she had him inside the house while he was outside where
Wait,
Monica
maybe
was.
not.
Oh, maybe he wasn't. I don't.
No.
But
Yeah,
she
it does-
says
it's not clear.
possession.
Well, she could be like possessing.
She
the
had the
rabbit.
rabbit.
Well, she was saying
while
her eyes and her
Pietro
ears,
was
though.
outside.
So
Yeah.
No, Tyrion
Pietro's
solved
outside.
it. She just possessed the real life.
yeah,
There
like
it is.
maybe she's just a fan of the X-Men movies and was like,
Does
I
he
got
live
Get
in
Evan
New Jersey?
Peters in here.
"It's perfect."
Oh, could he be Jimmy's witness?
Oh,
Oh, maybe.
Hmm.
interesting.
I wonder if we'll actually get like follow through with that. If that's just been like a thing that we've been hyper fixated
Yeah, like
on, and
what?
it's not even important.
Just like Paul telling us as an actor he's really excited about working
Oh,
on
yeah.
and showing us all.
And it's probably him.
The
probably
second I
himself.
realized that, I was just like,
Oh, Paul.
Yeah. Okay.
Paul,
well, we're getting ahead of
needs
ourselves.
to say to
I
you.
know.
Okay. Something that Agatha says is says, "Oh, when I sense this place, the afterglow of so many spells cast all at once. Oh, I couldn't make heads or tails of it." So like she's like got magic sensor or something, and just like felt like Wanda was something big, and she had to know more.
Mhm.
So she
Yeah.
used her
Yeah.
magic to get inside Westview.
I think.
Yeah.
Some advanced level witch, and then she gets there and realizes that she has no idea what's going on either.
Yeah, she says magic on autopilot.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
Yeah.
also says
That's accurate.
she's been trying to nudge Wanda awake from this
Right.
ridiculous fantasy.
Yeah.
So the stuff like the stork and all of that's Agatha,
The-
right?
Weird
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I think so.
That's what I took.
The
All the
only-
stuff where stuff went wrong was like her kind of being
Yeah.
like,
The only thing with the stork that has left me wondering is because it had the red smoke, which is Wanda, whereas Agatha's purple.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, and we see that like right here, like
Yes.
yeah.
the purple around Pietro.
Pietro.
But I suppose
Which
it's
makes
possible
Arrow.
if we're. Oh, I suppose it's possible if we're to believe like a lot of the time when we're seeing like that stuff, it's through like the TV, right? Kind of like at that point, I don't think aspect ratio changed like with the stork and the magic and stuff. So she was saying like basically like I'm trying to make you see these things and you won't like you'd rather not acknowledge them or like recognize them and just have everything like fall apart. So maybe Wanda just didn't see it that way. Maybe it was purple magic. I don't know. But like maybe she chose not to see that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe she's focused on her story with Vision, I guess.
It's just interesting that like Agatha would take the time because she was like, I was trying to nudge you out
Yeah.
of it. Like, you know, you're trying to gently wake up a sleeping person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at the end, she finally was like, nope, just gotta like throw water on that person, wake them up. by
Well, I think
kidnapping her
she
kids.
thought like she saw what happened sort of with Monica when Monica gets
Oh,
like
that's true.
thrown out. So she's probably thinking that this girl's like aggressive,
Mhm.
like a really powerful witch who just does not do
Yeah.
well with being startled like that. So she's trying to gently draw the information out of her. That could
Yeah,
be it,
and
too.
she could sense the power, right? So the way that she
Yeah.
talks to Wanda about all this, it really is very like, I'm like, you're gonna be my friend now, and we're gonna like, you're gonna teach me like what you know, because it seems like she thinks that Wanda knows how, like she knows how she did this, right?
Yeah.
So it seems to me that she maybe wouldn't want to disrupt this because she's curious about it and wants to know what's going on.
Yeah. So,
Yes. And from the beginning, well, when we saw the Halloween, that she was trying to push Vision out when she was in the car. So Vision would try to go outside the hex. And then on the previous episode, all these obstacles from Vision and Darcy that he said, oh, Wanda is trying to prevent me to get there. I think it was Agatha, because she wanted to have Wanda separated from Vision, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess like maybe it's to test Wanda's abilities that she got Vision like to cross the line in a way. And maybe to see what she's willing to do. Because like in the comics, like we know, like Agatha teaches Wanda.
Her mentor, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Is she just like a really a really bad Obi-Wan Kenobi? She's just like
Chaotic.
good at this teaching. Like she does that in the comics too, where she like makes up a situation. I forget exactly what it is, but it's something really dangerous, and Wanda has to go through it. And it's like, oh no, this is just a test. It wasn't real life, you know. So she doesn't have the best teaching methods.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So
No, exactly.
Yeah, they go through her memories, and the first memory is of her whole family, and I'm getting emotional just talking about it.
Oh my God! And was what you guys said about the sitcoms.
Yeah, about
that she grew up watching the sitcoms. Yeah.
I wish we had seen that, the parallel that somebody made on Twitter of the Sokovian greeting with the hands over the eyes when her dad comes home.
Oh.
That is exactly what happened in that episode.
Oh my gosh.
They're just really trying to prep us for the Cry Fest next week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, even though, like, did anyone else, like, jump? Like, you knew what was going to happen, like, why they were there, right? Like, they're watching TV.
Yeah, like, what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I still, like,
Yeah.
hits.
I didn't realize that would be the day. So yes, I jumped.
Really ironic day too. I was watching the news directly beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we find out.
And the go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the toaster noise, which I think we said maybe on one of the previous episodes was
one of the commercials.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
The toaster noise is the bomb noise.
I've seen this 3 times and I didn't put that together.
That was what was so neat with this, seeing the memories, is the way that we see that all of the little things that have been in the commercials were like completely connected to the episodes. So Stark Industries, the toaster, Dick Van Dyke, the Brady Bunch, the doll, the
yes, the doll shows up.
I called the doll.
The Hydra.
You did, yeah.
I called them without even researching anything. I was like, I know that doll.
The Hydra commercial, and then Malcolm in the Middle, and like all, like it was perfectly the commercial, and then the commercial was perfect.
Everything is intertwined.
I was a little disappointed the Super have a Full House box set. They didn't have to talk about it. I just thought it would have been funny.
And I even
funny.
I was trying to figure out the comparison to the weird commercial on the island, the yogurt commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know it's Yo Magic, Pietro was her, and Agatha sucks the life out of people. It was that was the connection. Like it was
Yo Magic, yes.
So
we
clever.
find out.
Not to mention they were abandoned for a couple days too. I know that falls out of the timeline, but like her and Pietro were alone for a couple days
2
with
days,
nothing. So.
Waiting
for Tony Stark
to be
to kill
saved.
us. Yeah.
I can't do that accent. Oh, speaking of accents. Accent really
Have
comes
to bring it up
together.
again.
Waiting for Tony Stark to kill us.
No, how God. So we find out that baby Wanda, I'm just calling her that even though she's 10, she uses her magic.
Oh yes.
What do you guys think of that?
Slight retcon.
How is it a retcon?
because of when we have previously learned that she was supposed to have gotten her abilities.
Well,
They
but
just shifted it back a little bit.
this is the thing on the end credit scene of the Winter Soldiers when we see Baron Strucker showing the twins before Age of Ultron. We learned that they were the only two that survived the experimentation with the Mind Stone. So perhaps that ability is like what Agatha says, that they had maybe some.
Well, I think it's
something.
because they're introducing the mutants now.
Yeah.
And so
Correct.
I think that's why they're finally free to do that
Yeah.
story.
They were scared to do that, like you were saying, Maggie, because they couldn't color Scarlet Witch. They couldn't bring out any
The
genetic
mutants.
mutation before, just because
Yeah.
of licensing and copyright. So they might be kind of changing a little bit, but she says, "Where?"
I mean, and that's common for any like superhero property. There's always going to be slight retconning of what previously existed because now we have the rights to the X-Men. So,
And Agatha mentions probability magic, right?
Yeah.
So, and in my mind, like you were saying, they're the only two that survived this like experimentation. So in my mind, I think it makes perfect sense that they had some sort of mutation or whatever, or it's her probability hex kicking in because she didn't realize she did it before, so that she can survive.
Yeah.
I see it very much like another superhero property, DC, and what they do with their people who can have magical powers or superheroic powers, a metagene, and it appears under times of great stress. And I think that's almost what they've done here is even if she didn't know she was using a probability hex, like that was the first time she used her magic because she was so stressed, and then it just each time we've seen in times of great stress, her magic has kind of grown. And so I think that might be kind of the direction they're going with the mutant type angle of they need great stress to unlock it to have the other stuff.
But no, Agatha says like it would have died in you, but something amplified it. Something was touch.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense because like Agatha, we don't know, like she doesn't have the Infinity Stones. We know magic exists in this universe with Doctor Strange, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities that it's there. Okay, so I really love this line. So what I see here is a baby witch obsessed with sitcoms in need of years of therapy.
I felt attacked.
I was going to say, you're just describing millennials at that point.
Yeah.
And I love how she called Wanda and Pietro out for joining Hydra.
Anti-freedom terrorist.
Yes. So that was your plan after your parents died? And she brings up a good point. So what do you guys think if the
Well, she brings up a point, but to Wanda's point, like they wanted to change the world. Like when kids are stuck in really bad scenarios and this is the only way they feel like they can make a difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how radicalization happens.
That's how radicalization happens. And it's Tony Stark's fault.
It's 100% Tony Stark's fault.
It's
correct.
Tony and Hawkeye's fault.
Everything's Hawkeye's fault. At the end of the day.
Everything Hawkeye. I mean, Clint and Tony. Come back for your crimes.
Yeah, and maybe there in Sokovia, Hydra was using this rhetoric that, we are anti-Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Something
we're going to
that
make things better. We're going to...
Yeah.
The enemy of my enemy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so what did you guys think of the stone scene? Because like you're saying, the only time we saw her, like, before Age of Ultron was just lifting blocks, but we actually see when she gets her powers. Here.
I think it's like she had the powers and like, it just amplified it.
Got the power. Yes.
She's got like part of the Mind Stone living in there now, which I guess is where the amplification comes from.
Oh, that's such a cool shot.
That was so cool.
So cool. I'm wondering if we'll see that next episode.
I know.
Yes.
She can be fighting in her sweats, even though I would love that too. But yeah, they're...
I'm not gonna lie. At first, when I saw it initially, I had to go back and rewind. I thought that was Loki, and then I realized it was Scarlet Witch. But I thought it was Loki in there first. I was like,
me too.
You know,
I
it
was
was like the color and everything. I could
The
figure
hair.
it
I was
out.
like, oh, wait a minute.
like, this is a weird moment to give us a commercial for Loki.
It's like Loki,
Right at the emotional
Okay.
heart of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Loki's just like, what's up?
Loki's just like Jesus pose,
and then
we're-
it, like
Yeah.
the little banner comes
It's
out.
actually
Okay.
it's actually Jared Leto is the Joker.
oh,
This is
no.
Maggie, please no.
No.
You said
Curse.
Jesus pose.
Curse.
Oh, okay.
This week's Snyder Cut pictures. Yeah. Let's make fun of those.
Yay.
So yeah, not like you guys saying, like not one subject survived direct contact. So yeah, there had to be something special. And like you were saying before, it was like we've heard that before in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the next room or next memory we go to is the Avenger compound, and that's when I cried.
Oh,
This moment, like, look, I've
oh my
read
God.
a lot of WandaVision fan fiction over the years because there's so little actual on-screen content up until now that like I had to feast off the scraps. And there were so many scenes that people created that looked just like this scene. And I
Oh my
just
God.
felt fed finally.
Yeah, to see that, what happens, because like you were saying, we only get like 10 minutes of content of them before
Yes.
this. And there's
Over
such
all
a-
the movies.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
such a jump from Age of Ultron where he saves her and they see each other and that's it, to where they are in Civil War when they obviously already have a connection.
Yeah.
So to see that moment,
I've seen the
and-
complaint that
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was like, I've seen the complaint about this episode that like, oh, you know, like it's kind of like telling us what we already know and like this and that. But I really feel like for me anyways, as like you were saying, I have been such a big fan of Vision and Wanda for a really long time, and I've been wanting content like this, and they really didn't set up any of it in the movies. So I really felt like this was a great way of
We had to live in
for
between
people
the
that
moments.
don't know.
And-
Yeah,
and
and like people.
This is the funny thing on Civil War in Lagos. Remember when they are like this happens to Wanda? Actually, Vision is not there fighting with them,
yeah.
which is kind of wait a minute. So
But he says when she's like, "They're gonna take me," he's like, "We're not gonna let that happen." And they have that look, and you're like, "Ooh."
oh, and Paprikash.
I just wanted him to reach over and grab her hand.
That's
I was
what
like,
I thought. He was thinking of Maggie. He was thinking about it. I was
Yeah.
like,
Just do
Paul and Elizabeth, just their small movements.
they're so good together.
So much.
Yes.
Oh, so much. Because he's
And-
like, he's looking down at her hand, and he's looking.
And
at
she's
her.
looking at him like, just do it.
Just do it, please.
Please do it. Can we talk about Vision in that sweater though? Sorry, that's not any sort of like actual
No,
deep
yeah.
content, but I just
No,
wanted to bring that.
It's
Okay.
relevant and
and
important.
Speaking
and
of
the
this,
quote.
this
Oh my
quote.
God. What is grief if not love persevering? Oh my God.
Stab me in the
That
heart.
give me chills again, just to think about, because that is so beautiful.
That might be, in my opinion, one of the best lines in any superhero medium ever. Like, period. Like, and to have that,
I would agree with that.
I mean, that's top tier. And I
Mhm.
did not expect
Yes.
that from this show.
Same.
Not that I expected it to be bad. I just did not expect
Yeah.
that type of line.
Yeah.
And the way Wanda described grief as like you try to get up again and then it hits you and you feel like you're drowning. And it's just like, again, I did not expect to feel so many human emotions and see it reflected in something that has
Yes.
witches and magics and a robot, you know? But
Well, that's
agree.
also what Monica said when she got out.
But yeah, Monica also said the same.
Drowning
Like,
grief.
drowning.
The morning.
Going back to Paul Bettany, though, we've been blessed with 2 Disney Plus shows with actors who know how to act very well without being able to utilize their entire face. Because Paul Bettany cannot move his eyebrows underneath that contraption that he's wearing,
Right.
and he's just expressing so much, like with his eyes and his
Yeah.
mouth, and it's
Oh,
incredible,
yes.
especially during this scene. Like
It's
I think that was the first time I noticed he cannot move his eyebrows under that thing.
That's amazing.
Oh, and this is just Agatha. This is all of us.
Yeah.
Every week.
That's
But
our mood after every episode.
Still.
You love the Earth and Woman Power, and I'll be over here.
What did you say, Mackie?
I sang the entire thing from I've Got a Theory from
Oh, I was like, wait, what is she saying? Everyone's
I've Got a Theory. Because it could be
Yeah.
bunnies, it could
Yeah.
be witches.
It's
I mean,
bunnies.
bunnies and must be bunnies.
Okay, so the last.
What?
Anyway,
No, I know what you're talking about. Buffy the Musical. She's not crazy, I swear.
I'm not crazy. I just
Maybe.
know the entire. Well,
Okay,
Just
guys,
came out of
are you
left
guys
field.
ready to hurt even more?
No.
Okay, because
don't do it. Fine.
This is really the scene I've been wanting to talk about
Candace.
because
Don't do it.
there's so much to interpret with this scene. So, our last memory is of Wanda going to Sword, and she's like telling the receptionist like she just wants his body. She just wants Vision's body because she got blipped back and there was no Vision there.
Yeah.
And Hayward's an asshole. Oh, can I say asshole? So
Go for it.
You're correct.
Yeah.
she's like, I just want to bury him. And he's like, come here. And he brings her to a room where you see this.
That was like this
That was
man needs to be
upsetting.
fired.
This is not.
I'm not gonna
like-
lie though, the like light up wires were kind of cool, but it was sad.
Yeah, it's a cool shot. It's a cool shot, but I don't think Wanda's thinking that right now.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It was a cool aesthetic, but
And especially because now that you mentioned the blip, for them, based on Spider-Man words and such, it's like it was like an instant for them. It didn't happen like 5 minutes, 5 years. So
Yeah.
it's like it was right the moment ago. And
And
then what? She came back and
It was 2 weeks.
She went to
It was just
went
under
to
2
Tony-
weeks, 13
Yeah.
days.
Tony
Tony's
Stark's
funeral.
She hung out next to Sam and Bucky.
Hawkeye
then-
abandoned her.
Oh,
With his
okay,
bad
and yeah,
haircut.
like Diana and also Tyrion are saying, I think he is goading her.
Oh yeah.
I think he's
he
purposely
was.
goading her. Why would
He wanted her to get upset.
He wanted her to get upset. He wanted her to get emotional. He wanted her to, like he says, that you could bring their soulmate back online.
Yeah, he's trying to
using
get her
as
to
a
do it.
machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, the use of soulmate was so unfair.
yeah, it's like wait
I
a
was like,
minute.
sir.
He also says, she's like, I just want to bury him. That's all she says. And he says, are you sure?
We
That
always
everyone
said
has
he
that kind of
was-
power that could bring their soulmate back online. Forgive
Yeah.
me, back to life.
He's
But she
goading her.
can't feel him.
And when she said to her, he said he doesn't belong to you.
Yeah. Oh.
what
Like, this
pissed
woman is
me off.
vibing.
what
I
pissed me
can't
off
believe
is
it took her that long to snap, honestly.
she's like, I want to bury him. I want to say goodbye to him. He's like, I can't just send you away for you to reactivate him or whatever. And she's like, no, seriously, I just want to bury him. And he's like, no, I can't let you take something that valuable away. I'm like, so that's the problem.
But here,
Yeah,
It
here's
was
the
never about the weapon.
like 2 weeks ago, Hayward was like, she broke into the Sword headquarters and stole his body. And I'm like,
Mhm.
sir, you let her in, showed her dismembered soulmate, and then
Mhm.
she left. Why are you lying? Why are you lying, sir?
See,
He's lying.
Ben was saying in the chat, like, we don't see her actually
Yeah,
take the
which
body.
is super good.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, the editing in, if you go back and watch the video he shows, it's exactly what we see in this episode, just with parts removed. Like it, and obviously the most important
That's so
context parts
wild.
removed. But it's literally the exact same stuff we see in episode.
I just like, hey, we're just going in on like iMovie editing.
Like editing this.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
cut this
Oh,
out.
make her look so bad.
If somebody
Well,
doesn't
I love
punch
how
this
he-
man in the throat next week.
Okay, and we should have
Monica
known the
should be the one to
way
do it.
he said to Monica, like, oh, your mother would have been like so disappointed in you, or is glad she's dead, or something like that. That's a red flag. I mean, like,
Yes.
Oh
honestly.
yes, he was
White man
in-
in a suit in power.
Not a good guy, no.
not a good guy.
Wait, let me summon my inner Schmidt. A white man? No!
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wanda just walks out. She's upset. She realizes she can't feel him. Again, I can't feel you. all I feel is
Why do you
you.
gotta remind me of this?
I'm sorry, Maggie.
Yeah, and also the thing is that when he asked the guys like put down your weapons, it's like, dude, she would easily have taken care of them.
But I
you
think
know?
he wanted her to reactivate him.
Yes.
So they could use him. Okay, so this is my question. The letter that is in the car, was it there the entire time?
I felt
Yes.
like yes, because it was
Yeah,
open.
I feel like yes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
it was
I feel like-
open, and I feel like it was like she was gonna do this and then go.
Like
So-
bring his body there, maybe?
I think she wanted to bury his body under the house.
Yeah, I agree.
Either under the house or in like the Westview Cemetery or something.
Aww.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is another theory I have. So Wanda is at the house. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not petting you. Okay. So
He's
I
so
got a theory.
happy.
Okay. So
He's like, no theory, pet time.
I got a theory. Okay. So Wanda So Wanda's at the house that Vision tells her to go to. There's nothing there. But that's when her power happens. And she
Yeah.
builds a new vision.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god.
Could it be Vision did something that would trigger that?
I don't think so. I think that's like pure grief.
Yeah, I think since we were learning that her power is triggered by traumatic experiences, I think the realization that she's never going to get to grow old with him in that spot is like the trigger that
Yeah.
unleashes the. Also, my mom made a really good point because like initially I wrote that the town was idyllic because I like architecture, so I liked the way Westview looked. But my mom was like, it wasn't. Everybody was miserable, and she's like,
Yeah.
everybody was unhappy. The town was boarded up. Like I am such a like architectural person. Like I just saw nice architecture and was like, it's got good bones. We're good to go. But she was like, she literally made their lives better. Like I saw somebody who posted a thing of, I can't remember the one neighbor's name. He's got the great mustache, but like he's putting up the flyer on the wall that says that he wants to like take piano lessons, and then
Yep.
he's playing the piano in one of the episodes. And so it's like she's given them all of the things to like improve
Yeah.
the town.
Yeah.
And like this
Yeah.
like she's tried to make something good out of a bad situation, which I think really relates to the idea of grief, because like you try to make do with what you have and like turn it into something good. And I was like,
Well, we got to remember that every town's like that right now. I mean, yeah, they're celebrating after the blip, but do you remember?
I was gonna say yeah, because of 5 years of
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
remember Scott Lang walking through the streets after
Oh
the
yeah,
rat
San
saved him?
Francisco. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everything was destroyed, trash everywhere. That little kid looked scared on his bicycle.
You mean we're living through the blip right now?
kind of feels like it sometimes. I'll be honest.
Well,
Something-
one thing that I was no, go ahead, Tori. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Something I thought was super interesting too, which I think I maybe understand why that happens. I assume that it's because of her, like they talk about like chaos magic and she can like change things, right? Like just out of nowhere. Originally when we first see Westview, there are people that Westview does not exist. And we just saw that she drove into Westview and then took over the town. So has she made Westview invisible to the entirety of the world outside of it?
Yeah.
It seems like
That's what I
so.
took from it, which is
Not the
wild.
entire world, just the radius around it. Because remember,
Yeah.
Monica.
Yeah,
and
okay,
Jimmy
fair,
could see
yeah.
it.
Because
Jimmy
Jimmy knows that there's somebody inside that his witness.
Yeah. So it's just like the radius around it. Like I think it was Eastview cops couldn't tell you.
Where
Yeah,
Westview
if you cross into it and you weren't aware, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just like this outside radius.
One thing
Okay.
I was wondering with the house, as she drives up, I mean, obviously we've seen like this town, like we said, was boarded up and definitely was feeling the effects of the blip. I don't think Vision would be one to buy a plot of land with a house that didn't have a house on it. So I'm almost wondering if that house was destroyed by a fire or something like that during the
Yeah.
blip years.
Not
And
a fire.
seeing the house that she was supposed to grow old in with Vision being nothing but a foundation, if that was the final nail in the coffin of the grief.
See, so my first thought was, I don't know if anybody else watched Grey's Anatomy back when it was good, but my first thought was Derek and the Candle House. Like, I could picture
Aw.
Vision being like, this is the foundation we're going to build our life on. Like,
Yeah, I
that
kind of that too.
I thought it was like we're gonna build our home here. Like,
Yeah.
It could be either way though.
Yeah,
either way, it's terrible.
Either or.
Either way.
It's sad.
It is
It's
sad.
just devastating.
Move over, Derek. Move
And
over.
my-
You've got Vision.
Yeah.
Derek,
My eyes are
who?
starting filling up for the now. So
Oh yeah.
You got
is Vision,
the
yeah.
Vision.
Is
Our
Vision?
brains.
Yeah, I know. Is Vision's first name the?
Yes.
the Vision.
The Vision, yes.
Yeah, correct.
Also, the fact
Oh
that
my
there's a
god!
heart- Did
Sorry.
you just realize it too?
No, I just noticed that the Nate Sherwood Drive. That's the street I used to live on.
Okay, so guess what?
So
I live
that
in,
was-
I live in the Sherwood Forest.
So
My
I just was
worst-
like, oh, I used to live there. That's weird. Okay, anyway,
The forest
not in New
I live
Jersey.
The forest I live in is called Sherwood Forest. So, like, when I saw that, I was like,
We love Robin Hood.
no, but the heart. There's a heart drawn on the calendar that they don't know the date of.
Yep.
It's
Yes,
the,
yes,
And in the theme song too.
Mhm.
yeah. At
Yeah.
the beginning of the last, yeah, or
The last
one before.
episode. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's-
Somebody get Wanda therapy, please.
Therapy
Yeah.
and a hug, and maybe some revenge on Hawkeye. And I feel like
nice
Yes.
blanket.
He's
She
gotten
comes
away
in with
too easy.
cheers and just like, no, that haircut's got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, something else happened that we predicted, I believe, in the very first episode. Is
Yes.
we see the soundstage.
Yes.
Yes, that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting though that this like idyllic Dick Van Dyke house that she built off the top is not the same as the Dick Van Dyke house in episode 1.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
It changes.
Just the the furnishing and everything's much darker in that episode.
Becky, are you exiting? You can
Like
go
she's
ahead.
changing it
Go
day
ahead.
by day or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. I don't know what it means.
Becky is slowly
That's
exiting.
interesting. Yes.
I like it.
I like that they got all the like old timey lights for that soundstage. Like those are
Oh,
lights
I
they used
know.
in like the 60s. And I was like, that's such a great touch to
That was
have
really-
that.
When she looked up and you saw the lights first, I was like, oh, those are gorgeous. Those are beautiful.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
close-ups of them, please.
I know. Yeah. She needs a hug from Thor.
Oh yeah. Those two definitely need therapy.
They all need therapy.
All of them
Every
need
single one of
therapy.
them, yeah.
Okay, so we're back in the basement, and Wanda hears her kids screaming, and Agatha has him by the throat. She really doesn't
Oh.
like kids.
Yeah. She.
If Agatha will kill a dog,
I know.
Yeah,
she'll
Or
kill
bite a
dog.
kid.
yeah, bite
Bite
a
a
kid.
kid.
She just
and
doesn't
rape.
care.
She was the shark that bit the kid.
Actually,
Yeah.
maybe.
So
The kid she's talking about.
they finally say it. Did anyone else go like, "Oh my god, they said the words"?
Yeah. It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
Scarlet
Yeah, the
Witch.
Leo meme.
I had like chills run through me when she finally said it.
Yeah. So apparently,
It was
like,
pretty good.
Scarlet Witch is like
Oh,
a
yes.
myth. And
Yeah, she made it sound like it's someone that like we've heard about you. I found you.
Yeah.
She got
Like
a chosen one moment.
Oh, there you go. I chose someone.
What did you say? Oh, chosen one. Got it.
She got a chosen one moment.
So like, Agatha said
Once in
she-
every generation.
She had she said that Wanda has chaos magic, and we know Doctor Strange has order magic. So they the opposite of each other. Gonna be interesting.
Do we think he's going to show up
I
next
hope
week
so.
still?
Do we think?
Okay, kids. I think the kids are alive just for
Young Avengers.
Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
of that.
They're gonna
That's the only thing
survive.
giving me
Yeah, I was kind of holding my breath for like the first couple episodes that they were present, and especially when Agatha, like at the last episode, I was like, if they're gonna do it, it's gonna be at the beginning of this episode, because there is a whole thing in the comics where Agatha's like, your kids don't really exist, Wanda. When you're not thinking about them, they're not here. So
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was gonna be like
I
the
was
trigger
worried
that
too.
just like sets her off. And I mean, I guess maybe it
I
can
know.
still happen, but I kind of feel like not at this point.
I think the fact that they stopped aging up the kids, I think that shows they want to keep those actors for a little bit. Like they have them at.
Yeah.
They've been the same age now for like two episodes, I think. So
Yeah.
They're good kids, though.
They're really good
good
actors.
actors.
They're really good
Mhm.
actors, yes.
And
I
they're
saw-
big Marvel fans too.
One of their audition tapes
Oh.
made, like 2 years ago, and they were like really tiny,
Oh.
and like were just as precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're adorable, and they actually are good actors. They got good.
I know. They're really
Can you
good.
believe these kids have never lived in a world without the MCU?
Oh, that's true.
Like,
Oh, why did you have to say that?
I
Wait,
just,
that is-
if we're about to
that
change
is
it, what we're
wild
saying,
to
like,
think about that kids exist. Oh my god.
I'm aging. What's happening? No.
Well, and I think what Lauren says might happen maybe next week.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Benedict.
Happen.
Oh, I was thinking about all those sitcoms that she used to watch. I was like, I know Billy and Tommy are in the comics, but with those sitcoms, all those characters have sons. Malcolm in the Middle, I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke. They only have boys.
Bewitched is in the box, but then they don't watch her. Bewitched, she has a daughter, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah,
Brady
yeah.
Bunch. Brady
Yeah,
Bunch.
Tabitha.
Brady Bunch.
And then like later
Full
on,
House, which they're talking about without talking about.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about the main ones that she definitely
The
watched.
ones we revisit in this episode. Oh, no, I guess not, because Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Well, I mean, nobody has a baby in that series. I was thinking more like, or young kids.
Oh, like having a. Right.
Yeah. That's just but I'm like, we already got Billy and Tommy in the comics. Of course they were going to be boys.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you guys ready to talk about the mid-credit scene? We get another one,
Oh my goodness.
and it's not
Gonna fight him.
Snooper's gonna snoop.
Gonna fight
Counteract.
Hayward.
Hayward is a DICK.
Yes, I mean cataract really
Gun
blurred
fighting.
vision.
It was there all along.
Right under our noses.
Obscuring our vision.
Paul trolling us so hard by saying,
Yeah.
"This is an actor I've always admired. I've always wanted to work with."
We're gonna have fireworks. I can't wait for everyone to see the fireworks between us. Paul.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's
I
gonna
would
be
not.
cool. I can't
I-
wait.
Yeah, I would not turn away two Paul Bettany's. So,
look, I'm just saying, like Wanda could have a really ideal situation going on for her next week. 2 for the price of 1.
Oh
There you
yeah, I think someone posted. I think Charlie posted that.
It was Charlie. Charlie sent it to me.
I don't know. I feel like this guy's gonna be boring.
Oh,
He's a little vanilla.
He's gonna be very It's Vision
Yeah.
without the spice. It's
It did.
Without the
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
there it is.
Yeah. Like I'm
Oh.
just saying,
oh my god.
ideal situation.
Yeah.
Is that a California king?
Well,
Look! It's double vision.
Oh.
Maggie. Bucky has turned away from the camera because he can't face you after that.
It's like,
I'm surprised he's stuck around this long.
I know. So he's ready for
Good.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
oh yes.
He's ready to be the star. He has a Captain America outfit. It might be coming out. I don't know.
I love it.
You
So
need
yeah,
to find a way to give him a little like silver arm.
I
So,
know.
oh, there he goes. He's gone. There's his
He's
bud.
gone.
I jinxed it. I'm
Bye.
sorry.
Hey, he was here for a while. I'm very proud of
He
him.
was here for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
There you go.
amazing.
Before the stream. So yeah. Ben and I were talking, DMing, and Ben, you were talking like thinking that maybe Agatha might fight with Wanda, not against her.
And it's her comics history and her dialogue in this episode, because in her comics history she has been an ally of the Fantastic Four in the past, so she's not completely evil, but also her stuff at the end where she's talking about the chaos magic and creating matter from nothing, and you shouldn't exist, you're a myth but you're here. It's like walking into the locker room when you're about to fight Muhammad Ali and saying you float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Like, you don't hype up the person you're going to fight. And it seems like
Exactly.
that was a hype speech. So I don't
Maybe-
necessarily see them. I think she's gonna turn into the mentor role. I don't know if she's
Yeah.
actually
But
gonna
an
fight her.
evil mentor, maybe. Because
Maybe,
she
but
still
I don't know
killed
if they're gonna
Sparky.
fight. Well, it's
Sorry, Bucky, I brought that up again.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Danson kicked a dog in The Good Place, but he was still good at the end. Like, what do you want? Like,
Maybe
Oh,
she
yeah.
wants to take a
Sorry, I forgot
mentor,
about that.
even if it's on the like going to the evil side.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe she thinks talents without training is nothing.
No.
Oh no! Oh no!
Gotta
No!
bring
No!
Star Wars
Wow.
into this every single
Oh, I
time.
can go. You want to go?
well, also, where does
I-
Monica figure into all this next week?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly it. Like, I
I
still don't
want-
know what happened with her and Pietro,
And
which
Like,
is
she was
like
literally just
yeah.
left standing there 2 episodes
Darcy
ago.
in that vision. Well, vision. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
there's-
Darcy's still in there.
And Darcy and Vision, yeah.
I hope we get-
They have a
Like an
lot they
hour.
have to handle next week. Is all I'm saying.
Which is, I thought there were 2 more episodes left, and there's not. There's 1, and I'm like, how are we gonna?
But
sure
working
Ben-
through next week's episode needs to be like an hour and 20 minutes or
And it's
something
not
for them
supposed
to
to be.
meet how much time they said the season was going to be.
does that count credits though, Ben?
Yeah, even
Yeah.
with credits, it needs
Yeah.
the entire episode needs to be like an hour and 20 next week.
And this
Yeah,
episode was 40, so I can see it being an hour long, but even an hour might not be enough to.
Okay,
there's a
consider.
theory on the
What is
internet.
it?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's exactly what Tori's saying. There's a theory.
There's a
that
theory
secret
that
tenth
there's a surprise 10th episode.
So 2 40-minute episodes would be an hour and 20 minutes.
But why would they do that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Just to mess
To
with
keep
you.
the hype
It just
train
it really
rolling.
seems like an impossible feat to wrap all this up.
You
I
cannot
know.
you can't wrap this up in 40 minutes unless you have somebody just sitting in front of the camera being like, okay, here's what happened. And
Well,
then
it
they just
has to be
recap it.
satisfying too, right? Because presumably this continues in Doctor Strange or some this is going to continue elsewhere, right? But for it to be like somewhat satisfying, like I don't know.
It
That's-
needs like the main threads need to finish here. They can set up potential for like stuff down the line, but this story needs to conclude here, or else.
Marvel's pretty good about making sure things end and then also setting things up. Not
Or
counting
at
it
the
home.
end, at the end of the credits, we get the where it's like WandaVision will return. Like how what was it? Was it Black Panther will return or something like
Yeah.
that? There was
Yeah, I know
A bunch
it
of them
happened
did
after
that.
a few of them, yeah, where it's like it will return. So
Ant-Man. will
I would
return.
like another season, please. But I don't know.
But they've said that this is it, right? They,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
They
come out
have
and
said that.
this
They
is
have
like-
said that. But
What if it's just WandaVision will
Her
return
circle.
next
It's
week, and
hard.
then we get one more
It's
episode?
hard.
What if you said
yeah,
Wanda will
it's
return?
hard to wrap my head around
Or
this
if it's
being over
Wanda
in one
Space Vision.
episode.
Yes.
Look, I'll take a 4-hour finale for WandaVision over a 4-hour Snyder cut any day of the week. All right.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you. Or it's WandaVision Vision. There's 2.
Oh,
Agree.
Vision, WandaVision.
When the
Because
Vision-
she's a
Vision,
sandwich.
WandaVision.
She's a vision sandwich.
Let's not kid ourselves. We're going to be losing Vision next week.
Which
No,
Yeah,
we're getting
that's
twice
true.
as many visions next week, and they're both going to stay.
We're gonna get 2 Visions, and they're both gonna die.
Please,
Well,
please,
okay.
please.
Wow.
Here's
Yeah,
something I did want
I'm
to ask
setting the
people
bar on
about.
the ground so that I can be like,
yeah, that's my thing too. It's like,
I have doom or gloom opinions for next week. Like I
You kind of have to.
I'm a cynic. I'm a cynic when it comes to Marvel because I've been burnt repeatedly by Marvel. And so like the way that I've seen things set up today, I see Agatha dying and I see losing both visions. And that's just like I
see Hayward being defeated, and I mean, there's a possibility that Shuri saved, like she was saving the consciousness or whatnot on Wakanda, but she was blipped as well
Right.
when she came
So
back.
some form of vision survives them.
Yes.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask with when Wanda created her vision in the Hex. Hayward said in an earlier episode that he was tracking a vibranium signature of Vision. So did she create vibranium?
That's
What if
true.
he's lying?
I mean, he's
Yeah, I
able
think
to
But how would
change
he know
things
where? How would he know
himself.
where Vision was then? Like he had to be
Darcy-
tracking him somehow.
The town.
But no, Darcy.
Oh,
Darcy says he's tracking vibranium.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
so, I
'cause
mean,
she
she can
happens
change
to
things
it.
into other things. So
That's true.
Yeah.
maybe,
True.
which is wild.
But it doesn't look like she looks like she's creating him out of nothing, unlike other.
But everything in the hex becomes what it needs to be. So for this to be Vision, he has to be part vibranium.
Yeah, like the
Right?
She's created it.
So she's created the vibranium.
It's also
For power.
interesting looking back now when Vision tried to
Oh.
leave and he was getting sucked back into the
Yeah.
hex.
Pamela,
Like he could not exist outside of the hex.
Pamela's got a good theory.
So.
I like that.
Oh.
I think
wish they
Vision
know.
Westview will
Ooh.
be fusing with his body and will be able to leave.
Oh my god, don't
That
give me
is
hope. Oh my god,
beautiful.
I know,
that's
that's
so
what I'm
good.
talking
Please.
insert Hawkeye's gift.
I was in Hawkeye. Don't
No,
give
not
me
with
hope.
his haircut. No, we don't.
What if
even
we
see-
sacrifice Hawkeye to get Vision back?
I
I'll
would.
do it.
Yes.
I don't know how that works,
It's
but we'll
already
try.
done. I don't think
Okay,
anyone's
Tyrion.
gonna complain.
Tyrion's ready for Waffles After Dark. Maybe she has some
Oh.
vibranium in her. I mean, she's
She's
had
got a
it
lot of
at some
vibranium in her.
point. Yeah,
Good for her.
we
She
know
could
what's
have
happening during Infinity Wars, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they
did
lived
have
next
that
door to each other. Literal wall between them. That's all.
Yeah,
So.
and he can go through those walls.
And you know
Yeah,
he
he
did.
can.
That's what she said. I don't know how that would work.
Life
Late
is
enough for
good.
this, right?
Yeah, it's nearly 11, and Bucky's asleep. He can't hear it, so we're okay.
Yeah, there you go.
You said he was an elder. He's fine with it.
There you go.
No,
He's too old for this.
he's too old for this. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope she just doesn't get the souvenir or like sympathy kids like a lot of women do. It's like, oh,
I've been
well,
preparing
Like a
myself
force
for it.
baby.
like a what baby?
A force baby.
Oh, force. Oh God. No, I'm thinking more like Hera. Hera gets a baby.
Oh yeah.
Hera
Okay.
dies.
Oh, your lover's dead.
Okay.
Apparently, like
Okay.
in
Okay, I mean-
Firefly, I believe. Why can't I think of Gina Torres' character's name? Oh, I forget.
In
I love how
which-
every time I go till the same.
we're in sync now. Which show are you thinking of?
Oh god, what is
Firefly?
her character?
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Director.
Zoe.
Um,
Zoe.
Zoe, yeah,
Zoe.
I think there was a treatment if they had a sequel, she would have had a baby or
comic.
something like that. What?
Comic.
It's in the comic? Okay. Yeah.
He gets a
So-
souvenir baby too.
Souvenir baby.
Ooh.
Just happened to be pregnant before someone dies, just like that,
It's magical.
It's magical.
Yeah, I mean that's been like my biggest fear, and I don't know if it's a fear because like I think that I've been really realistic with myself like from the inception of this announcement at D23 for WandaVision before. Like I was like, okay, cool, so we're gonna get Vision back, we're gonna lose Vision again, she's gonna get the twins, we're just gonna supposed to be like happy that we have this
Yeah.
kind of this piece of Vision that still exists, and then like somewhere down the line they'll find a way to like bring Vision back, but like not now. That's
I
been
don't
like
know,
my
Paul-
expectation.
Paul says seems like he's having fun.
He's always having fun.
He's always having fun.
Oh yeah.
The man signed up to be a voice actor, and now
So
he's
good
in
together,
full
like-
body makeup.
Yeah,
Like, he's
he's
having
just-
a blast.
He's having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the MCU like the longest, but he was a voice actor for most of that, so I don't feel like he's as fatigued as some of the other actors.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I feel like
Okay.
Don't give me hope.
he's still game.
It's for real.
Like, look, my bar is very
Yeah, I know.
low.
No, we've talked about
It has
this
to
since the
be,
beginning.
yes.
I think the first episode when it's just
Yeah.
the four of us, we were like, Vision's dead. We have no hope. We can't,
Just gonna
Now here we
do
are,
our magic.
full of hope.
Or... Yep.
At least we get Young Avengers soon.
That's okay. I can take that. I can
Tommy
take
and
that.
Billy.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna age up, or we talked about this a little bit? Like,
feel
I
like
think they're
maybe-
going to age up just because everybody else is a bit older.
What if they aged up in a post-credit scene?
Maybe. Yes.
That'd be cool.
Mhm.
Do they have a date for Young Avengers yet? Because if not, I mean, the kids will probably be like 13 or 14 by the
that's
time it actually.
true. Because we
I
got
was
to
gonna
get
say, yeah,
Hawkeye.
and with this past year, that's probably set things back too.
Yeah, because we got to get the Haley series.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring
And,
back
Miss
Baby
Marvel.
Vision.
They're doing
No, Tyrion.
Yes, Baby
no.
Vision's adorable.
No,
Vision is
That
a
is a-
beautiful thing.
Baby Vision
So
is
cute.
precious.
haunts
no,
my
I'm freaked out by
nightmares.
Baby Vision too, if it helps.
Yeah,
But-
Grogu says no.
No, oh God, take it
It's
down.
so sweet.
Take
This
it
whole
down.
face.
No,
Grogu says not. He's the only baby in Disney Plus.
okay.
Grogu's gonna
Nope.
fight him.
What a
Probably.
fight
Go
that would
back
be.
to your babysitter, Luke. Grogu.
He's like, I thought I was just going to summer camp.
Thank you, Fanboy Cantina, for
Thank you.
reminding us that it is going to be incredibly sad.
But what if it's like sad and then uplifting at the end?
Because they're dealing with their grief.
Yeah, that's the sad part, and then it gets better.
Didn't Paul Bettany also call it tragic?
Life is good.
Well, I tried, but I give up.
I think in my optimism, and I fully express that this is my optimism. I hope that the tragedy is Vision or both Visions dying, but the two entities being close enough together that they like merge and Vision. Like it's tragic, but then it's happy. Like it makes us all cry for 5 minutes, and then we're happy at the end of it.
It's like
Yeah.
hopeful. Yeah.
What a concept.
Because
You
I
died,
did
but
I
you're
did
happy
post this
about
on
it.
Twitter today too. I hope that the line that Vision said about grief being love persevering, I hope that is Marvel moving away from using grief as the only way to advance Wanda.
I agree.
Because that's what they've done. It's only been grief, and I hope that marked
Hopefully.
them turning a corner and doing that.
Yeah.
See, my fear with that is because in honor to fully like adhere to that saying, that means that Vision has to stay dead so that she actually has to process that grief and move on from it. Because if he gets to stay alive, that's an easy answer to her grief, and she doesn't actually grow. And that's like
Unless-
unfortunately, like,
They're talking
like-
about all the other grief she has.
but like with the way that they set that up in that moment, I felt like that was them trying to be like, the only way to move past this is to like accept everything that's happened and move forward.
I mean, Agatha says that, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and that's
This is
that.
me-
I was like,
This is me being incredibly hopeful right now, but I feel like
Maggie's like, I'm not
So-
listening.
Let me just don't listen, plug your ears. But like I for me anyways, from the inception of all this and like from the first episode and realizing like grief's a big factor here, like for me I feel like the next episode for it to be really satisfying for me anyway, and I think to make the most sense, she has to come to terms with her grief, right? So what if that's her letting Vision go, and then now I think is it Diana who said maybe his body can fuse with like the other one on the outside, like
Yeah.
maybe she does have that moment of growth. She has that moment of growth where she's like, I am not going to hang on to him, but still maybe somehow he could come back
Like
a little later.
induce-
What
You
if
can have
he
her taking-
lives? What if he lives? He has to take care of the kids because her chaos magic is so out there that Doctor Strange is like, "Hey, we got some talking to do." So they have to be
Exactly.
separated because of that.
Someone's gonna watch the kids.
Yeah.
There was a line that Darcy said in a previous episode. She's got the world's only vibranium humazoid playing Father Knows Best. What if Vision
horrible.
becomes a stay-at-home dad in Westview watching the kids while Wanda goes off and she comes back and she visits, obviously, and that kind of
I
stuff.
just
But
love that. Ugh.
I mean, it would be
It's
it would be
bittersweet,
Marvel
but
to
it's-
take a little line like that and make
wait,
that.
I
The
just
Yeah.
had a terrible idea, guys.
Oh no,
oh
Meg.
no!
No.
Come
I
on,
just
we were having a
pictured-
good moment, Maggie.
I just pictured Sorry, this is a Vision dying story, but I just envisioned Westview having a statue to Vision in the center of
Stop.
town.
Okay, you can stop right there. It's too much. It's
I
too
hate
much.
that
No thanks. No thank you.
Thanks, I
I'm
hate
just
it.
gonna press my mind.
Like
stone.
IG-88 in Navarro. You know?
I was just saying that's exactly what I was
That's
thinking of.
exactly what I
Yep.
thought of.
Yep.
Exactly
Yep.
what I thought of.
We're getting requests.
Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah, but I mean, it would be interesting to see what. Oh, baby Vision.
Aw,
God.
but he's so cute.
He's
I have
really
a
cute.
visceral reaction.
Why?
It's so horrifying.
But it's like a real baby. They just painted it purple.
It's Vision's head, except chubbier
Paint
on a
the
baby body.
Arzu.
But I guess Ben just hates babies. I don't know. It's just a purple baby.
But
It's
yeah.
adorable. It is precious.
Correct.
Okay. Let's just everyone's dead at the end. Let's just put that as a bar and just be like,
Yeah,
yep,
let's not get
the kids are
excited.
dead. Wanda's dead.
Yeah.
They
Everyone's
trolled
dead.
us about Doctor
Expectations.
Strange too. Everyone's dead.
Great. Something to look forward to.
Yeah. So there's our bar. But we will be drinking next.
Yay!
Absolutely.
3 in the
Yeah.
morning
Well,
Eastern time.
we
Oh, no,
start
we're
at 3 in the
drinking during
morning and
this
just
while
keep
we're
going.
crying. Let's see here. Tyrion really loves Baby Vision.
His baby legs.
His little baby
She also
Vision.
really
legs.
loves Grogu, so I think she might just have baby fever.
No. I
Mm.
mean, Goku is pretty adorable. He's still upset he wasn't invited.
Yeah.
Well, given how tragic this is, maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Yeah. Any other theories or thoughts before?
I think they're going to team up against Hayward.
I hope Hayward gets slapped. I don't care who does it.
Yes.
I hope
I'll do
it's
it.
Agatha though. I just feel like that'd be the funniest.
Hey, Darcy can punch. We find out last
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
That's true too.
Maybe they
Actually,
can-
that would be very satisfying to see her do as well.
Well, what if
I
they
saw
have their
some
little
really out
Westview
there.
Avengers with like Jimmy and Darcy and Monica, and they're all teaming up together? And they're like, Cataract's Vision, you don't have to do this.
I miss him.
Yeah. What if like Vision does die? But like Wanda finds like people and friends to talk to, unlike what she didn't have with the freaking Avengers.
I hope people
So
are
you're
like,
talking about found family
Yeah.
Yeah.
after your loved one dies?
That's my favorite trope.
Yeah, like
I'll just let that hang there for a moment.
thanks, Ben.
I wonder.
I have faith in Shuri.
Oh, I was thinking
I
about
won-
Rebels.
I wonder if it's Peter from the X-Men, I wonder if he is still under Agatha's influence and if he's going to have to be woken up. Is Vision gonna run into him when he catches up at the house and Monica's there and then they go I just wonder where that storyline is going.
Yeah.
And if he is from this alternate universe, like, is he going to stay? Is he going to be in the multiverse of madness as well? Is it like Strange going to be working to get him back into his own timeline? And then like, is there the potential then while he's trying to get him back into his timeline that they pull like all the mutants through? And like, that's how we get other X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I feel like that would be a better gateway in a movie rather than a TV show. You'd have more time to really explain some of the stuff and like that.
Yeah,
Like, I just wonder.
The longer we go, though, I just feel like they're getting very conventional every time. Like, we're like, what if it's this and it's this and it's this and it's this? And like, they always
I
look the same.
agree. Yeah.
It's always safe. It's always
So
safe.
I'm almost thinking it was like a misdirect for us, and he's not actually from anywhere.
He's just some dude.
That's
Wait
kind
a
of how I
second.
have felt in the
What if-
beginning, but
What
Like,
if
I don't
he-
know, but
But he's
if
got
he-
super speed.
this planet's Pietro, Peter, like there's a Peter here
that's
that
what I was saying before. Like, he's just
yeah,
Peter
she was
from
saying that
here.
before, yeah.
But how does he have super speed?
Exactly.
He gives it to him.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
As part of her illusion, like, just because, like, I remember, like, back on our first couple live streams, all of the like theories that made me feel like I was never going to be able to follow the show because it was just so much from the comic books, and then at every turn they cut those out, they distill it, they make it really, really simple to follow for
Very
somebody like me who doesn't read the comics.
Yeah.
So I'm almost thinking like I know multiverse is coming with Doctor Strange, but I feel like they won't introduce it until Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and well, I
Yeah.
mean, they have to do that because, like, there's 12-year-olds watching. There's people who haven't even seen all the Marvel movies or don't even know
Yeah.
anything about the comic
Yeah.
history. So, like, I'm never, like, mad at them for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they done what they could to make change this.
To start opening, like,
Yeah.
But then
to-
consider too that maybe people who watch the MCU did not see the newest X-Men movies. Like my parents are comic book fans, but they haven't seen the last couple X-Men movies. They had no idea who this was. So
but
like
they
people
know
like
it's not Pietro.
they know it's not Pietro, but they don't know who
Because
this is. So you
yeah.
can't bank on your entire audience having seen a whole other franchise of movies when they haven't even seen every movie related to this show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
unless they
argue that
explain it, but-
everybody is online. Everybody is talking about it.
yeah.
Not
Or
the way
maybe-
we are.
Or maybe this is another way to open. Those properties are now Disney, and I don't think they're gonna be like, oh, they're done and gone. In some way, they have to bank on them, and to draw the attention, but maybe not in the series. Maybe this was just like a preview, but maybe Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, it would be a way to start introducing them.
Or maybe there'll just be a throwaway line from this Peter, and it's like, hey, this is in my universe. This, and this happened. Like, a
Because-
guy tried to
Yeah,
shoot
like some sort of
someone.
just small
They
conversation.
already toyed.
Because mutants are, in his universe, are, like, very out.
Yeah.
And they threw that idea, or they tried to do that on a Spider-Man Far From Home, but it ended up being not
And a
real.
disgruntled employee of Tony Stark's.
Exactly.
So it was Tony's fault.
Based on his fault.
Once again.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest complaint from the MCU from the beginning has been that I feel that they play it far too safe. Like,
They call it so safe.
I look back at all the way back to like Winter Soldier, and I'm like, I mean, I still hold the belief that Steve should have died there, or in Civil War. Like, Steve shouldn't have made it all the way to Infinity War and Endgame. But but again, this is also the thing that gives me hope that they might do something crazy. Is this is a new medium for them? This is Marvel's first like big TV show, so they could throw in something like, you know, Hayward is Ultron. Which was a crazy theory I saw on Twitter today, which I don't agree with. But I'm like, you know what? It's just crazy enough it might work. Who knows?
In the flesh.
And I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like Loki will be weird. And I feel like they
Loki's so
can be
weird.
weird because that Loki's not
It's not
Loki
weird
from
unless
this.
there's a horse.
No, Maggie, no.
No, I agree with Maggie on this one. It's
No.
not weird unless there's a horse.
It's not truly
I'm not
Loki.
I'm not saying it can't be weird. I just feel like they don't seem the type to expect you to have done all of this homework. Hence, like the need to constantly
All of the
recap the events
mental
of Wanda's life.
Yeah.
gymnastics.
And
Yeah.
that's why there was so much exposition on this. Like
Yeah. So
Like,
that's why I think, like, if anything, it'll be like, I can't remember who said it, but it'll just be like a throwaway line of like, this isn't my
Yeah.
world, and then they just send him back,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the end
and
of
then
it.
we'll be like, oh, he meant the X-Men Fox universe, you know?
Yeah, it's like if you know, you
Yeah.
know, and if you don't, you're not missing anything.
Exactly. It's just like
Yeah.
things like that.
Great.
Yeah.
But they like winking at us nerds.
Just bring Fassbender and I'll be happy.
Just right when he lands, like back in his universe, Fassbender's there, and he's like, "By the way, since you're here,
Hey, Dad.
Hi,
Hey,
Dad.
Like, what?
Oh, you mean you don't want Magneto to show up next week and be like, "You're my daughter. You have my power."
Maggie."
No! Maggie.
No, it would have to be
Maggie.
Vision saying, "It's not
You
your
have his
power,
power."
it's his power."
It's his power.
Guys, stop it.
Your
I will cancel. But no, she didn't make Pietro because she says that she possessed him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
she would say like if she was illusion or something like that. But yeah.
Also, Agatha doesn't have the power to create people with her
Yeah,
magic.
she
That's one of the
doesn't
things she
have-
was
yeah,
so
magic.
like
Like, he
enthralled
created
with
all
about
this,
Wanda's
yeah.
stuff was you can create matter.
And that book too has to do with dimensions that we saw. So that's why I think he just like grabbed him. Like, okay, you're close enough. And like she said,
Yeah, maybe,
Wanda
yeah.
was so much in denial she believed it. So
I still don't think Wanda brought him there just because Agatha did consider like actual Pietro, but he's on another continent full of holes, so she can't do that.
Wanda didn't do it.
I don't think Wanda brought Peter there, but
I think that
No.
Agatha used the book that we see at the end of the last episode, which is known in the comics for Dimension, and just, just grabbed whatever she could, and that happened to be the Fox version,
Yeah.
and just like used.
She found a guy in town with silver hair and said, "Go do this."
She went and dyed his hair. No.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us. Let's tell people where they can find me. If they can't find us, find
Just
me.
you.
They can find me at thegeekywaffle.com.
you can find me at rz2.com and at thegeekywaffle.com and on Twitter, right there
Yeah, our
At that.
Twitters are
at rzumi.
there.
And you can find me on Twitter at Maggie of the Town, and you can find me writing recaps for WandaVision every Friday at Your Money Geek.
Yeah, and also you can find me on Twitter at Norhall.
You can find me on Twitter at The Mandatorian, and then you can also check out my shop, Creature Cartel Shop. I do have some WandaVision stuff, so.
And you can find me and my terrible takes on Twitter at BenOffTV.
And you can find Bucky on Instagram at BuckyJBarks.
And
Wait,
TikTok.
what?
And on the
He has
Geeky
a-
Waffle
and TikTok.
Twitter.
Yes. Yeah,
I didn't
Bucky
know
has
that.
his own
I have to
Instagram.
follow right now.
Yeah, Bucky
Yeah.
J Barks. He is adorable, and
Aw.
he's going to be a doggy influencer soon. So yes, thank you
following
all for
her.
joining us. Next week's gonna hurt, but we'll be there
Absolutely.
with the
Ready.
Drink.
drinks.
Drinks. Yeah.
Bye.